Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Reunited Kingdom campaign. We have successfully secured some territory around our homelands of Gondor and in the north as well. But today what we're going to do is try to hold that, see what we can do to maintain it. And part of that involves cleaning up these little armies of our enemies that are wandering around. So with that in mind, we're going to leave just a unit of archers as garrison in Calenhad, get working on provincial pacification, queue up an emissary to sort of ensure against bribery here. And then we're going to see if this Adunabar army is going to stick around and fight. They're going to withdraw a little bit. It's literally 4 units of grim spears. Should be pretty entertaining fodder for our catapults. So it looks like they've taken up a position just off the road, and so we will move our men in that direction as well. They may be trying to grab some high ground, but honestly, nothing's going to protect them from the bombardment they are about to receive. The only thing they could do is withdraw, which they can't since they already withdrew once on the campaign map, or try to rush us, but that I don't think would go well for them either. So what I'm going to do is just queue up an attack order, and we'll get the rest of the men forward a little bit. And yeah, we're going to do a lot of damage. Now, we may run out of ammunition, but we're gonna do a lot before we get to that point. So let's slow it down here and put everybody on a halt. They are bringing some spears down to maybe investigate. But I think I'll keep targeting this unit. Again, the goal is to attack a unit with your catapults such that if they miss, they may hit something beyond it. And so that's why we're attacking this unit. They've got the nice general unit right behind them. King's Longbowmen are marching away, but yeah, we're going to be fine. All right, we took out some of the flanking unit over there on accident, so. And we're cutting these guys down as they retreat. Or reposition, I guess. Alright, and you know, now that we've done so much damage to this unit, I think I was just gonna say we may want to switch to this one, but we're doing fine in that regard, actually. Alright, then let's move the men up again. They're going to relocate, and they brought out this larger unit, which I think I'd rather target now. And there goes the general, just a lucky shot. Alright, and we just ran out of ammunition in the nick of time because we don't really want to be firing into this. But I think we should be completely okay. Yeah, that unit's gonna rout. Let's pull everybody back and let the archers deal with it. Alright, close enough. Let's get up here. They're probably going to come down again, so we'll halt. We'll do the same kind of thing. So this kind of battle is, you know, not the most exciting thing necessarily, but it is something you have to do. And where are we at? Yeah, 91%. We're good to end the battle here. Because if you just neglect this kind of thing, then the AI is going to group up these units together into a much more annoying stack, or do things like besiege your cities. So we don't want these little armies just roaming around. But I don't think I'll show every single battle like that, because, you know, after a while it can be a little tedious. We may be fighting this today. We'll see if they get down into this region. But hopefully now we've got Carandros, we've got Calenhad. We can now be a little more aggressive with our units instead of having to worry about sending them back up here. We will have to worry about the northeast, so I guess we'll get these guys over in this direction. We do have some more bowmen. but I'm not sure if I want to send them with this army or with this army, either one of which could theoretically hit this army of Harondor. And you know what? I think what I'll do is maybe, because if you recall, we're neutral with Harondor, with Harad, but they have just landed an army right next to Dol Amroth in a very suspicious manner. So I think what we'll do is just train up some stuff, and maybe this army would be good to head back down here. So maybe then, let's get the archers with him. Train up another unit. Retrain that militia. We've got another bit of cash, and we do have a few more units here that we can send around as well. But I think one thing I want to do is get some nice big ships trained up. We've been talking about that for a while, wanting to have a good fleet, and so far we haven't really been able to make that happen. I'll at least get these boats here where it's kind of safe, and then I think we'll just end the season. Yeah. What a bunch of jerks. But this is why you ask for money from Harad. I've had campaigns as a Reunited Kingdom where you can make a pretty good income off of, fighting these stacks that land on your shores. There's usually a couple, and then getting peace with Harad and asking them for a few thousand Mirian for it. So that does tend to work out pretty well. Okay, nothing unexpected there. We've got a lot of training happening. We've done some more training in the north, mostly the cheaper archers, but also some swordsmen. And Harondor of Ithilien is grievously wounded, just as a result of a battle. Okay. And we are besieged. So our economy actually better than I thought for all the sieges and blockades that are happening. We are not hurting that badly. We're still making a little bit of money, and we're going to be addressing this siege anyway. That big army, I guess, moved back down into the south, so that's good. I think this frees me up to use this army here. And it doesn't look like they have any siege equipment, which means that we could theoretically wait, although I don't know that we gain anything by doing so. Not sure if it's worth it to get these Gondorian swordsman mercenaries. They are, in terms of stats, 15 attack, 30 defense. So they're better at attack but worse at defense than the King's swordsmen. And they're more expensive. Well, I mean, I should probably just do it because it's just a quick way to get bodies in the field. Let's bring this guy back down. And I know we had great plans of using him in Harondor, but I think now that we've got Calenhad, I can just use this army to fight Harondor. We'll send this guy back towards Dol Amroth. Let's see, do we have anything else we can add to the army? I don't think we'll need that much, honestly. This is a bunch of, typical kind of low-tier stuff. Swords of Harad. Some archers, some cav. So we'll send these guys over into the west, deal with this. Meanwhile, work on fleets. I don't know if we can technically actually train Palaran, but let's get that started anyway. And this army will be the one that hits Harondor. Let's get him down here. Oh, and the mercenaries are not available in Ithilien, only in Calenhad. Okay, well, we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's hit this army. They'll go away, and then maybe we will head back somewhere else. But nice thing is, Emyn Arnin has now finished the Homeland Dominion. Let's take a look at what we can train here. I don't think we've done this yet. So this, of course, is a homeland for the Reunited Kingdom, and as such, we can train our typical stuff: Bowmen of Gondor, King Swordsman, and so on. We can get Longbowmen at Tier 3, and at Tier 4. We can get Rangers of Ithilien and White Company. This is a bodyguard unit, meaning that if we train it, we'll get another family member. That would be really useful because sometimes you have a real lack of family members in certain places. And, there's a possibility we could train someone who's halfway decent as a governor. And this is, of course, a very strong unit, surprisingly so. So I think we're going to want to go and work on this. This is a chief city, which means that we don't need to devote it to only military or only financial or only administrative. So that's great news. Let's go ahead and queue up control posts right away. That's only going to get us kingdom militia, but it's a necessary step. And I also have this army over here that I've just not done anything with. This is the army of Harondor of the Green Hills. He's got a regular cavalry bodyguard unit, as well as some light cav, some kingdom militia, and a few archers, including these unique Blackroot Vale bowmen. And I had thought to send them up to maybe take the rebel settlement, or maybe take this settlement from Dunland if they have it. And I don't have anybody in the area to see exactly what this looks like. We are technically neutral with Dunland, though. So, attacking this right now, well, I guess it would be a good way to throw our weight around and potentially make some money. Since we're neutral, I'll risk getting a closer look. There's only 3 units here. Ooh. So here's what I'm liking about this. Rohan has done Freka. So if Dunland wants to fight me for this or get reinforcements over, they're going to have to come through Rohan's territory, and I don't really like their odds. So you know what? Let's put this under siege. Or, next season we will. And then we'll see if we can grab this for ourselves. Not that this is a particularly great settlement, but I really don't want Dunland to have it. If we get it, we'll share a border with Rohan. And it just helps secure this area of the White Mountains, which can be somewhat of a porous border. We've got, of course, the Thornburg Keep here, but that's something you really need to devote some attention to, in order to use it as a choke point. And then we've got another passage down here, all the way around Andrast. There is another settlement over here, rebel settlement. Maybe Dunland has taken it, actually, which I should probably have checked out first. But if they haven't, it's just going to be rebels. And so that shouldn't be too bad. Let's take a look at the north here. And we've got an interesting situation where it looks like... Okay, so they've pulled off the siege of Amansul. That's very good. I don't see any other approaching armies. And they've moved some armies over to 3 ways. Okay, no one has still taken Sarnford yet. That's still rebel held. So I would like to take that. And I would also like to grab this one. Let's see what they have here. Okay, some trolls, some orcs rather. Hopefully no trolls. And just some other, probably, like Grim Spears, tier 1 or 2 units. Let's go like here. And if I attack this army, I think all the others will show up as reinforcements. And they will stay and fight. Oh no, we've got trolls. Well, I don't want to fight trolls. I just did. I thought I was done. Okay, it's an orc band, it's orc raiders. All this stuff is low tier except for these monsters right here. Let's see what the other units look like. Yeah, this guy is just a bodyguard with a couple of low tier units, and here's some cav. Now, cav for a Dunabar is kind of rare, and this could be a problem for our footmen. But you know what? I'm going to save the game because you never know with trolls, and so we're going to see how this works out. All right, so a bit of rainy weather. I want to remember to get my archers, the longbowmen anyway, to fire flaming ammunition. That's the only unit that can do that. All the other guys just have regular ammo. But we do have quite the amount of archers here, and several of them can serve double duty. But we're going to be looking to our south, to the left, where the reinforcing armies are going to come from. So the city is somewhere over there behind the hill, I guess. And another army is going to come from over there. And the trolls are going to be pretty much straight in front of us, unless they decide to set up on a hill. So to that end, maybe I'll get my men like this.
reinforcements in a pathetic attempt to save themselves.
All right, where are they? There's one set of reinforcements, and the others are indeed off there. Okay, yep, way off in the distance. So this is the city garrison, and that is the, I think, single unit reinforcing army that's just outside. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get all of my archers together, and the trolls once again are the bodyguards, which is really annoying. We're going to speed this up. Get kind of on this hill, and the other guys are going to join up, although it looks like there's a unit there that is holding back annoyingly, so we may not get the city out of this. Alright, we're going to just send everyone to attack the trolls. Try to do what we did in the last battle, where we just focus everything on them. And they can run amok. They're basically elephants. So, but unfortunately, they're sending some grim spears towards us. I could work on that with my own spearmen and kingdom militia. Okay, I think what we have to do is get the longbowmen to just keep firing at the trolls all the time. You guys can hit those grim spears, and you guys will just hit the grim spears by default. And we've got horsemen coming. Of course we do. And of course I have, you know, not planned for that. It's like every single time. I'll just bring my archers out in the front line. Just assume everything's going to be fine. They have skirmish, right? I'm not their mom. And always we lose a bunch of archers. Well, actually, we lost very few. Alright. I don't think we've done anything to those trolls. Alright, there's my entire infantry line. Let's just stretch them out behind the archers. Yeah, this is a very, very messy kind of knot of bowmen here. The other thing about trolls, though, is that they are kind of susceptible to being surrounded. Like, they're very dangerous units, of course, and we did kill some of them. They're down to 12 now. But if they get into a melee, you can get a unit like Kingdom Militia and just surround them with those guys, and they can actually do fairly well sometimes. We got Orc Raiders incoming. And let's see if they'll actually come on. It looks like they're going to wimp out. Got an Orc band, Orc Raiders, and some bowmen down there that are shooting. But we're just going to ignore them. Alright, I think they are coming on. Okay, now everybody is coming. Alright, we got them down to 11 trolls. But they are trashing some of our men, it looks like. Let's get the bodyguard over and around the flank, and we can maybe start to roll it up. If we can get the rest of the army, going, then maybe the trolls will run too. What do we have down here? Everyone's still kind of far away. We're down to 10 trolls. Alright, let's hit the Orc band. They're shaken. Alright, Trolls are down to 9. Orc Band is routing. Let's pull the general out. Kingdom Militia follow up. Trolls are actually running amok. That's good news. Let's get our men out of here and let the trolls hurt their own men. Fantastic. That is a troll general down. You love to see it. Okay. And everyone else is running away. Well, they're no fun at all. Just no fun. So it looks like we're not going to get the settlement out of this battle anyway. But hopefully we have eliminated that troll unit. I'd say that's well worth it. Even if we don't get the city, man, those trolls are annoying for multiple reasons. Just look at how many arrows it takes to cause damage to them. All right, well, we'll just follow this route off the battlefield and see you back on the campaign map. So yeah, that army is going to just retreat back into the city. But no more trolls in the area. We have completely wiped them out. Very good news. And we will, of course, put 3 ways right under siege. Build 3 rams. And, yeah, still hold off on those mercenaries, I think. We've got enough archers here that we should be able to do this pretty well. These couple of horsemen in the city are going to be mildly annoying, but I think with our own infantry and cav, we should be able to get that. And I don't think there's any big armies of Adunabar just waiting in the wings. I could be very wrong about that, though. Interestingly, they still have not taken back Tardal from us, or from the rebels. So that's great news. Hard to tell too much from the garrison sizes of these cities. Of course, there's a lot of fog of war over here. But I'm going to choose to interpret that as a positive. Let's see what's going on with Rivendell. It looks like they still own it. A lot of times they will lose this because it is it's just very tough for them to hold it as cultists. Okay, but I'm happy about that. We've cleared out some trolls that I didn't even know were down here, and we got 3 ways under siege, potentially opening us up to a counterattack from Tharbad, but you know, if that happens, we really want to get this anyway, right? We want to have this choke point. Tharbad is really part of our heritage, so we're going to take it at some point. Let's move some of our units over because I am feeling, you know, that we could be attacked from the north. Although we saw last episode that the big armies were moving back into the east to take places like Rond-la-Soth, which is showing some unrest, as well as to garrison Foroddrain. So let's just use our scout and see if we can see anything else in terms of big armies. Yeah, so it looks like they took Rond-la-Soth, moved their army out, and they're going to lose it probably this turn. So we got a couple of big stacks, probably containing some trolls to worry about in the north. Now, the problem with completely denuding the garrison from Anuminas is that we can now be attacked from this quarter. But I think it's more important to get some men and public order around Fornost. And coming up the Ithilien road, here we have the big army of Harondor. Let's see what that looks like. Can't tell much. All we can see is these Harondor footmen, which are roughly equivalent to our Kingdom Militia. Now, we do have some other units that we could add here. We've got some archers. Not much, though. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I don't know if I want to fall back and choose a position like on a crossing or a bridge, because I don't honestly know if that's going to make much of a difference. We do have catapults, of course. One school of thought would say, let's just attack this army and see what we can do. But I know that there are mercenaries available up here. So I may want to go back and take them and regroup, get my men retrained in Minas Honor. We've got some mercenaries that we can retrain there, actually, as well as a bunch of men. Let's see what we can do with these mariners. Can we train them in Polar gear? Not yet. But that's something we will work on eventually. So, yeah, I think moving back here is going to be the good move. Let's get these mercenaries, and do we want to just put everybody right in Minas Honor to kind of retrain? Yeah, we'll do this. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of money. We're actually unable to retrain all of those men. But we did regroup some of them, and so I think that'll help. Now, one thing we don't know about Harondor is if they have something like a ballista with this army. Harondor can train siege equipment like that, so they could theoretically put Eminarnen under siege and storm it immediately this turn. I guess I'm willing to risk that, even though we just put all of that building time in, but I don't want to lose the army here. So I think that's what we're going to do. We also have to keep moving our army over into the west to hopefully get here before Harad assaults us. I think we will take the opportunity with our couple of Elkarondasses to attack these ships of Harondor. They were besieging or blockading the port at Pelargir, so we'll see if we can do some damage to them at least. And we didn't lose too much of our own men either. And let's bring them around to do the same thing over at Lynn here. That'll help our economy slightly. Okay, we're losing about 400 less now than we were. But I think we definitely want to keep these boats together. We can't get back to Pelargir quite yet. We'll just keep them at Lynn here for now, and then when we get a chance, we'll bring them back over and keep training up those high-tier ships. Now, we were not attacked by three-ways, but there is an army approaching. This looks like a decent force, about a half stack, and so it's probably maybe a good match for us. We also are starting to see some of these armies heading down south in our direction. Let's get a closer look at this army. No trolls unless this unit is a troll unit, which, it could be. But let's hope that it's not, and we'll bring the spy down south again. I'm curious to see what this army consists of. I guess we'll find out soon enough. But we can assault three ways, and so I think I will go ahead and do that. Again, there's not much here. 3 units of cav, an archer, and a spearman unit. I don't know that we'll need to go through the walls, but let's bring our archers forward and we can start working on those cavalry units already. There are some dark bows here as well, so we'll maybe want to target them. And it looks like they were beginning to build something, control posts. Ah, well. This is actually, a little disappointing that they didn't build them, because if they had, if they'd completed them, I could destroy them for a bit of cash. But it's always nice to see how the old game handled this. Buildings on the settlement map were actually pretty reflective of what you would actually expect. So you can find, your blacksmith here. You've got, various other buildings that actually, are based on buildings that you can build in the campaign. And then as you take over a settlement, say that's different from your own culture, as enough turns pass with you in possession, you can start to see buildings of your own culture's type in that settlement, as though, you're sort of mingling the architectural traditions. So it's pretty interesting that they actually thought of all that. So the gate's down, we're moving everybody up, and I think we'll just do the usual archer bait tactic. Got some horsemen coming out from the center, and there are a few other units in the city. Just here, we've got Grim Spears. I haven't seen the bodyguard yet, but there he is, with some other cav and some, what is that? Some of the bows, right? So it's a little tricky. They're all hanging out on the streets, well away from the plaza. So I think I'm going to have to go in and bring our bows up, as well as our good spearmen. We've got 2 units of these, but I don't think we can get any more for a while up here. Yeah, those cav are coming. So actually, let's hold up for a moment. All right, we got that one guy. And I expect we'll see some more pretty soon. Let's run the spearmen forward because they're going to be the most useful unit in this type of a battle. And we've got the bodyguard here fighting with some of our units who've made it in. We do have the spearmen in. Starting to cut some of them down. Of course, the archers are in as well and freaking out because they're on skirmish mode and they're inside a city. So that's how it usually goes. Feeling confident enough that I think I can get my my general in on this fight too. There's no one else close by. Spearmen just killed the enemy general. Very nice. And so it looks like the dark bows are over there, out of the city. These horsemen are a bit of a worry. But I'll bring the spearmen up to sort of block, then get my king around over here, or the heir. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, and those dark bows are shooting at us, but we shouldn't have any trouble fighting them with our bodyguard unit. Alright, they're routing. And once everyone's sort of engaged over here, what I'd like to do is, you know, pull them into the spears, of course, but then get the general around the other side. Not sure if I can pull them out with what I have here, but, you know, let's bring Eridan up. Some bodyguard coming to challenge our king's spearmen. Can't imagine it's going to go well for them. We're in guard mode though, so we're going to be, I guess, kind of preserving our strength. We're not going to be getting a lot of kills, it seems like, when we're in this formation. But I think your stamina stays at a decent level. Let's get some kills on these horsemen of the shades so they come out after us. There we go. All right. Took care of them with no losses to us, but they're coming right back. I'm going to have to watch this because I'm getting my general around, and they may decide to send something after us like the Grim Spears, which would be annoying. Okay, here come the Horsemen of the Shades. Excellent. You know, let's get out of guard mode here and fight them. I don't want to fight in the plaza, though, so... Ugh, what a mess. I love how the AI can just turn on a dime and like move so easily through the streets of a city, and you know I try to do it and end up flipping and flopping. All right, I think I'm gonna have to use my cavalry to get their cavalry out of here. Also think that my archers are just not really able to shoot over the buildings very well. All right. Just kind of engage and pull back. Very, very risky stuff, I know, but... Okay. Did absolutely nothing. They're being extremely stubborn here, which is probably the best thing they can do. Alright, we kind of have something happening now. They're sort of pulled out of the square. Got them to rout. Let's get these guys... I think we can make it happen. This has been a ridiculously long battle, and we're just going to end it here. We lost only, 26 men, but they were just so stubborn about guarding that town square that it took way longer than it felt like it should have. But anyway, we got the city. Not too many losses. And this is a big risk. It opens us up to an attack from Tharbad. All right, I think I want to lay desolate here. I guess, I could expel the populace and send these guys up to Bree. That might be good for the money. Let's do that. I mean, they're going to go to Bree, but also every other place that has a governor. So, some of these other settlements, which is, not that bad of a thing. Population is something of a concern all across our territory. But yeah, Three Ways commands a good chunk of territory, as you can see on the mini-map here. So northern Cardolan, and it does border Sarn Ford, which means that now no one else can take this but us, right? Because Tharbad is not going to step across our border to go to take Sarn Ford. They're going to take Three Ways first and then take Sarn Ford. So we've kind of secured this rebel settlement for our own taking. The Shire's not going to take it. The Dwarves aren't going to take it. But when we do, we'll be trading with both of those factions. So this is a nice place to take just because it feels pretty safe if you can take it in a certain way. And it can get some trade income. So that's going to be the plan. But we will have to see what this army is going to do. Now, in terms of the city itself, there are some nice shrines of the shadow that we can destroy. And yeah, I think we will go and get rid of the Homeland Dominion. Get taxes on low. Now, I think we're going to go with this as opposed to provincial pacification in Three Ways. This is going to bring us some actual cash, right? So over 1,100 there in land tax, another 3 in income tax, and a nice boost in trade at 150 or so. We are going to lose some to mismanagement, about 400, but it's going to be more than made up for by all of that. So this is definitely, I think, the good move. Let's see what the AI is going to do, though. Oh right, we were attacking Harondor. Forget the AI. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and queue up a couple of rams and just maintain the siege. We're not going to be counterattacked. All right, they want a ceasefire. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why they want it. They could certainly assault Dol Amroth if they had been, planning ahead. But you know what? You give me 3,000 and I would be happy to sign a ceasefire with you. They'll take it. They're probably going to besiege me again immediately. And here we go. Harondor is moving up. We're at war with Dunland, but we're at peace with Harad. Very, very interesting. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, they've got their army right there. So what they're doing is they're starting to see that I've got other forces in the area, and maybe they're at war with other factions. Let's see if that's actually the case. Okay, Khand. Interesting. Wonder if that's what this is about. Yeah, Harad started a fight with Khand, and so they decided that combined with my approaching armies, I'm guessing that's what put them in the PC kind of mood. So I don't want to attack them now, and this is the kind of irritating thing. You have to have an army around to be the stick, but you also have to accept the carrot when it's offered. So I guess we'll just keep this going for a while. Keep building our fleets. We absolutely need to do that, and then see to Harondor. First step of that, we can send this fleet over to attack this Harondor fleet that is again blockading Pelargir, down to just 33 men. Clear victory, but he's going to get away. That's fine though. We get access to the port, and we can retrain some stuff as well as queue up some more of the Alcarandas. Now we've also got this army of Harad coming up through Ithilien, so it'll be interesting to see what they want to accomplish. because they don't have any borders down here. In the south, Harad still has and Harondor still has, Harondor's original territory. So this army may have been intended for us. It's just odd that they're going through Harondor to get there. But now we've got our forces retrained and resupplied. I think it's time to take out Harondor. Let's get these men in position. And I'm not necessarily interested in saving the city. I mean, of course I am, but I want to see what this army looks like. Okay, it's a paper tiger, so they've got a lot of skirmishers, light cav, not a lot of infantry. Let's hit it and see what it looks like close up. Okay, 2 units of these tough Harondor armsmen, but only 1 sword unit, and their cav is pretty weak for the most part. They've got 2 of these horsemen of the Harnan. Okay. Now, we're going to be bringing in these guys as reinforcements. I'm happy to do that. Let's jump in. All right, they're deployed basically right in front of us, which is interesting. I thought they were going to be more up the hill. And so I thought we were going to have to march around, which is why I've got my catapults the way they are. But so let's see if we can support them. Let's bring up the infantry. Get a lot of our archers firing. And here come the tough Harondor armsmen. Let's see. I think I want to focus on, back here. If we can hit, this knot, we have a chance potentially of hitting their general. All right, so they're going to attack our kingdom militia. I think I can get my cavalry around and get something good happening there. Let's get the Gondorians over here. They're bringing in some heavier cav, so I'll need to answer that too. Let's bring my lighter and other cav over here. That's going to be a good charge on us. Probably going to have to get our archers in the fight too. All right, who am I firing at now? All right, we gotta keep pressure on these guys, and oh shoot! Fear we're gonna lose a bunch of cav. All right, swordsmen are gonna get in. The Harondor retainers are really, really strong. Yep, we're losing those Dol Amroth men at arms. All right, let's get the bodyguard out of here. We've got some tough units up here, but I need them shooting right now. So if they can keep that up, that would be great. We'll support with the cav later as we can. We're pushing them back over here, but it's tough because there are all these skirmish units. Actually, our swordsmen did really good job here. Herodwaith riders, I think we can tie them up. Alright, I think we're not actually using our catapults because we've got enemy units so close. Alright, we actually got completely routed there because I wasn't paying attention to that unit. Alright, let's get the bodyguard over. I think we can still pull this off. It's very... oh gosh, here come the reinforcements. It's very, very not pretty. I'm shocked that my mercenaries are not routing. Alright, the Harondor armsmen, toughest unit, got him to rout. Let's pull out. And what we have to do is hit those plainsman mounted skirmishers in melee. And Horsemen of the Harondor are coming. Okay, you know what? Let's hit them with our longbowmen as well. These plainsmen are not going to stand very long, but they're going to get hit by the Harondor retainers. All right, time for the bodyguard. Throw him in. Yeah, I don't know. We might not be able to hold out. We're winning over here. We got rid of some very tough units. Let's charge in on those Swords of Harad. Bodyguard is losing, but we don't have any units that are great at knocking out cavalry up here. Our longbowmen, our White Company are good. They're not really designed for this kind of work. All right, tide is starting to turn. Throw in the longbows as melee units here. All right, throw in the crew. Starting to get some routing up here. The plainsmen skirmishers are gone. Bodyguard down to 9, 8 men. Here come these guys. All right, let's hit them with our Gondorian bowmen. That may be the last we see of those guys. But it's mounted skirmishers, so they're light. Here come Horsemen of the Harondor. Again, they're not likely to have a huge impact. There he goes. Killed him. We got to come down here and help out into this area. Hit the archers. Oh my gosh, I think we can do it. Harondor footmen, what do we have here? Mercenaries. Okay, I think we got this. These archers of Harad are marching. As soon as we start getting some kills, they're going to turn around and start meleeing with us. And evenly matched, we got to be careful here. And heroic death. Damn it. That's exactly what you have to watch out for. There he is. Well, we may as well keep him in the fight. Okay. Harondor footmen. I think we can still win this. Alright, skirmishers are just going to hang back and be annoying. Let's send the actual White Company guy to kill this stupid reinforcing general of Horsemen of the Harondor. Alright, all the archers are routing now, and I think we can bring these guys all back to support. Alright, this guy's going to be dead very soon, I imagine. And with him, the last bit of resistance.
Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too.
Alright, these guys are trying to retreat. I wasn't sure, though, if they were going to just stop, turn around, and hit us as soon as we stopped chasing them. So, alright, yeah, we'll continue the battle. Jeez. So we won, but we lost a family member. We lost a lot of men. Again, this was an army that I just described as a paper tiger. This is Harondor. You know, Dunland can be very surprising, right? Dunland can be one of those armies that I know I underestimate too much. In my Rohan campaign currently, just got handed a pretty bad defeat, or a Pyrrhic victory maybe by Dunland. So, you know, I know that with a faction like that, where they got tons of cheap units, numerous population, and lots of javelins, so lots of missile attack, that's the kind of faction you have to take care of. But Harondor is different. I have to admit, I don't play them very often, and I don't often face them on the battlefield either, because I don't often play as the Reunited Kingdom or Harad, so I don't end up fighting them that much. You just see them get eliminated, and you think, oh, okay, that's cute. Harondor got wiped out. But I don't often see them on the field, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know exactly how to treat them. They've got these really tough guys here, these Harondor armsmen, and so they can just send them forward and they can, stand against men-at-arms, basically. They are that good. And so they can send them forward and only have 2 of them in an army, and the rest skirmishers or light cav like you saw. And you think, okay, this is going to be easy. But then they bring in that cav and they start to, win against your smaller numbers. So bad stuff can happen. Well, we'll get to the campaign map anyway. And we'll see what the situation looks like when some of these casualties recover. Oh my gosh, look at that stack. I can't even call it a stack. And then we've got this army of Harad that's just standing by. A few minutes ago, this army looked like the least of my problems in the area, but now I'm feeling very vulnerable indeed. So we'll have to get these guys back to Minas Honor yet again to retrain. The bowmen, the horsemen, these Dol Amroth men-at-arms we'll have to send all the way back to Dol Amroth, of course. I think they can also be trained at Tarnost, though, eventually. Let's see. Yeah, Dol Amroth men-at-arms here. So those are the only two places. But we're a ways off from that, and of course we may not be able to get Dol Amroth because Harad may decide to besiege us at that point. So we do have a heroic death, unfortunately, Harondor of Ethring. He was wounded, though, right? He was the guy who was grievously wounded as part of this fighting. So this is that's what happens. You get grievously wounded, then you melee in the next battle, and it's not likely to go well for you. So I think this is a good point for us to end the episode. What we're going to do, probably next turn, we could assault this right now, actually. But I'm going to hold off for that. We're either going to do that at the beginning of the next episode, or I'll do it off camera, because it's 3 units, and they're under strength, and one of them's an archer unit, one of them's cav. It's just probably not going to be a very exciting battle to watch. But I'd like to grab Harondor, and then we will be facing the next challenge, which is probably going to be these guys right here. See if there's any trolls that are showing themselves yet. And no trolls at all. So I'm not feeling great about this. They've got stuff like Uruk Berserkers and some tough swords units and so on. But it's better than if they had trolls. So I think we're in a position in the north where we can start to hold our own, provided Tharbad doesn't start to get any ideas. And in the south, we are defending our land, but it is bloody. At any rate, thank you very much for joining me in this episode. I hope you will stick around for the next one. Until then, take care.